I learned music by myself. Like I didn't study music. I just learned how to make music with a PC or a laptop. I remember I asked to this friend of mine that was a hip hop producer to help me to set something for start to making music. So I bought a sampler, an Akai sampler, and he installed on my PC a very old version of Cubase, and I started to make music playing with Cubase with the MIDI, the launching the sampler and making music just with samples. Then I remember arrived propeller head Reason, which is a DAW, a DAW station, and I started to make music with that. That was a game changer because um the Reason used to have everything: a sequencer, a drum machine, a different synthesizer, a sampler, plus effect, compressors, limiter, echoes, reverbs, and everything. So I start to follow. I start to open the demo track that that the Reason used to have, and copy from the demo track how you used to make music. So this is how I understand and learn to make music. Never seen any any tutorial on YouTube, even because tutorial doesn't show you how to make music, just show you how to copy someone exactly in the same way. It doesn't have sense. I don't think music is like making a recipe, or it's not like making the cacio e pepe spaghetti or an apple pie, that everybody has to follow the same ingredients and the same steps to have a different the same results. Making music, yeah, you have always to you have to follow some steps, but the free um, you have also to be free while you're doing the steps. Yeah, I didn't don't have any mentors. Sometimes when you go in a big studio, you check how this guy working with EQ, with compressor, stuff like that. More on the sound engineer side, more than on the writing side. And yeah, I come from a small city of Italy, and it's true that in 2000 when I started, dance music was something that used to belong to old DJs, producers, with a, in my opinion, with a kind of gatekeeping attitude, and they never think about to step out their comfort zone of making uh, dance stuff. So it wasn't. Mm, it wasn't necessary to have a mentor for me in that moment. It's a pity. Jack Master, Jack Master was the first person that believed in me, and he played the demo of my first track, Chiquita, on his radio show BBC, on BBC, on Radio One, and was the guy that always kept me continuing doing what I was doing with this free will approach. And I remember 2 months ago when he passed away, I was checking the messages that we sent to is together, and he used to say that I was his favorite producer, I was the best producer around. He asked me if I want to release something on numbers. Um, he gave me very self-confidence and helped me to feel free to do whatever I want, and then feel to, yeah, for making people dance basically, since I make this. Yeah, and then basically the best feedback yeah, came from, yeah, DJs or music journalists. Yeah, even if Also, normal people feedback is always the best one as well for me, because if someone normal, if someone that doesn't care about all the new genres, styles that came up out every 6 months, says that the music they make is good for him or for her, it means that I'm passing through this niche music barrier, but I'm going through everyone, and this is a very good feedback. What is good music feedback in your opinion? When someone that knows about music says that understand uh, your inspiration, but understand that what you are listening to as your personal touch. This is a very important feedback for me. I don't like to sound like someone else. I don't like to sound like Burial or Fred again or whatever. I like to sound like me. And even if I try to do something a la Fred again, I want that the final result sounds like me trying to go in that path, not exactly copying. And yeah, also when people say that my music is weird or is sick, this is a good feedback. And also when they can't find a box for the music that I make, this is also good feedback. I know that nowadays you have to sell music, and the the more easy to put in a label, to put a label on this music, the easier is to sell it. But yeah, it's music, it's not a pizza. Like, let's keep it weird. My first release is Chiquita. Latin before Latin, probably the feedback, because now and end of 2024, there's so much hype about Latin music and Latin club, whatever it means, because I don't know what it means. But I know what people imagine when they say Latin, the probably electronic music with a lot of Spanish speech, words, languages, and with mm, percussion from Latin America, like something that bring yeah, that kind of patterns and bring them to techno and house music and electronic music. Um, when I arrived in Spain 10 years ago, Chiquita was the first track that I did, and was basically the my personal feelings of living in a different country with a different language, different people, and Chiquita was that. It's true that has a lot of Spanish sample, like people singing in Spanish. The track has also a lot of percussions and an acid bass line. So maybe I remember that at the time people used to relate this track to the early Ibiza period, like 86 and 92. Um, I don't know if you can compare this with the Tata tracks or Nafi stuff that came out from Mexico or Colombia, but it's true that there's a strong Latin component, and yeah, was Latin before Latin 10 years before everybody started to use Latin sample for be cool and on the edge. Then yeah, if you go in the 90s, you can listen to Louis Vega or to Alfio Rosario, and you will listen exactly the same music. Susan Ciani, maybe, or I don't know, DJ Cozy, Maurice Fulton, Richie Houghton, but there are too much people, and I don't know what to learn, because I would like to learn everything and nothing, because you always learn a lot of things from the masters and also from the people that don't like. Yeah, I think that if you end up in a studio with someone that you don't like the music that he makes, uh, you will probably learn something, maybe how to don't make music in with that approach, but yeah, you always learn something. So yeah, I'm not so nerdy and obsessed with one artist. The laptop is fundamental in 2024. Maybe in 1980 or 90, I couldn't live without my, I don't know, Poly 800 or my Korg MS 2000 or my Roland TB303, which is the sound that shaped the acid house, but the machine that shaped the acid house. But no, I don't. Laptop, because nowadays with a laptop you can do a lot of good stuff. You can start with it and maybe just with a DAW station, make music with what you have inside the software. If you are poor, you can illegally download and make music. You don't have to be rich like in the 80s or in the 90s. And then also less is more. So less things you have, the more you can extract and the more you can discover from something. If you have tons and tons and tons of instruments, yeah, maybe one will be your signature sound, but I'd rather go with that. Even because with a laptop you can go on Discogs, you can go on, I don't know, Red Bull Music Academy archives, uh, on different medias and discover on YouTube and discover music, discover artists that you never listened to, and you can open your knowledge about music. Because what is good in music nowadays that you have the not in music in everything you have the possibility of learn a lot of stuff through your laptop. And then as a DJ and producer, you had to know that your skills are not just based on making good music and being a good DJ. I would like to, but it's not. And you also have to be you have to be good with a video with a camera and with a video to make a video like this one, or like you have to be good with recording a podcast or I don't know, collecting stuff or organizing, being a promoter and organizing a club night. So, and with a laptop, you can do all this kind of stuff. When I was a teenager, continued to study, maybe go to the university and study history or anthropology because I like to see what we are and what we was. Uh, Most of the time, the same person with different technology. And but also, I don't know, before being a musician that lives out the gigs and the money that you make with selling music, I did a lot of jobs. So also coming back to these old jobs, or maybe just a craftsman because I consider what I do. I'm not consider myself an artist. I'm not an artist. There are museum and galleries for that. I'm just a craftsman that works with music that make functional music for dancing, maybe for thinking about it. Sometimes I want to express something through my music. Yeah, okay. Maybe this makes me an artist, but in the end, I'm a craftsman, and I could be like, I don't know, someone that works with pottery or works with wood. I consider that make music is like make a bowl with pottery, because in the end, you can buy a bowl at IKEA or you can buy a bowl in a handicraft shop. The costs are different. The products are different. Most of the time, if you have an artisanal point of view, you work you study a lot different shapes of bowl, and then you try to design someone that pass through your own style, and you study materials and everything, but at least you try to make something where you can put some cereal and milk and with a spoon eat it out. Then, so yeah, the maybe a craftsman.